Welcome to another episode with Deviator on the Road. Chances are, if you're seeing this, you like trucking. Deviator on the Road is a topic-driven channel. A daily journey through the business of running truck in America. Opinion and commentary on the people I meet, loads I deliver, and so much more. Become a subscriber and join the fun.
You learn, I learn. It's as simple as that.
Let's get to work and check out another fascinating look at the trucking industry from the eyes of a driver with a passion to make it better. Let's get started. Looking into the future, and there is and has been an epic need for drivers in the industry. Stay with us today and watch to the end, because today's topic is on this very thing, driver shortage. We're going to drive on over to Lewisburg, Tennessee, pick up a load of goods bound for Dayton, Ohio. It's worth about $1,200. We're examining yet another closure. I want to ask the question, who's going to train these people? Stay with us today, it's going to be a good one. That I promise you. First off, take a second, make our channel and our video lineup easier to spot in your viewfinder. By clicking on that subscribe button right down there in the lower right. Become linked to our growing channel offering topic-driven news, information, opinion, and commentary on the constantly changing world of trucks, truck drivers, and certainly the best day in a life channel on the market today. Together, we can make many voices sound like one. Let's get started. A familiar sight to most anybody that watches this show knows this is my home parking spot here in Fayetteville. Exactly 30 miles down the road is my next pickup. Got a load being picked up at Lewisburg, Tennessee, at a place called Carrier Port. Load of goods going up to Dayton, Ohio. Load number 3 of the week. Valued at $1,200. It's only 375 miles. Anyway, we're going to get on the road. Got over an hour to make it somewhere by noontime. That's when our scheduled appointment is. So ideally I'll pull in about 30 minutes early. Let's get this day started. Alright, as soon as we round this turn here, I think we'll be looking at this place coming up here on the left. Is ICP another word for carrier group? Certainly the right address. 650, that's where we're supposed to be. This place I was at probably about 8 or 9 months ago. So I'm vaguely familiar with their protocols. Should be interesting to see how it's changed. Actually, it was a lot longer than 8 or 9 months ago. I came in here before COVID, so had to have been last year sometime. But as I recall, the in and out process wasn't all that bad. So we did pretty good. 995. 668991.
Alright, where are you at?
Right here, even with the building, second row.
In this first lane here?
Second row, middle.
Right. Once you get a chance to pull forward, you should pull forward to the red line. You're going to stand and block, right?
Yes, they are already.
Open.
Yep.
You're going to drop it right there.
Okay.
You're going to dovetail over there at that end of those drivers.
Okay.
And then once it's loaded, we'll bring it back out and set it down.
Okay.
Once you hook up, make sure you come in and sign your bills for me, okay?
All right, come right to this window.
Yep.
All righty. Thank you much, miss.
You're welcome.
Oh, this process.
Funny thing is, you heard the driver make the comment, you know this process, because I knew exactly where to go, because I remembered it from last time. You got very little room to get through those two posts, so you gotta be careful when you're pulling up. Just like the lady said, we drop our trailer right here. This is a little different than usual. Fella drops my trailer on the side yard out of the way. Very nice of him, I appreciate that. Gives me a chance to get hooked up and ready to go and not to deal with the fray. There's a lot of us in here right now. But in any case, 1:45 it looks like. Yep, 1:45 in the afternoon. So we're just under the 2-hour mark. Them guys checking you out, they really know what they're doing. So far that makes 3 times total I've been in there. And all 3 I've been in and out of there in less than 2 hours. No turn on red signs. But this is slightly kind of a blind intersection, so I think I'm gonna wait until the green light, which we got right now. I don't mind playing it safe. It's always a good bit to do in a small town like this. So we got 365 miles. Total drive from here to the receiver in Dayton, Ohio. I'm sure if I looked hard enough I could have found something better than $1,200, but I wasn't so much concerned about the amount of money as I was trying to get something coming back that I could get done within a couple of days. So I no longer look at the entire week at one shot. I start as early as I can in the week. I look at usually one load at a time. As I'm doing one load, I'm looking ahead to the next one. But I'm also bearing in mind productivity for that day, and trying to make sure that the next day I can get at least something between 1,000 and 1,500 that I can accomplish in 24 hours. I've said it a few times, I'll say it again. Work smart, not hard. That to me makes the most sense. So let's see what this day brings and what we can get done in the next 24 hours. Hang tight and buckle up. It's going to be a great day. Not exactly one of your bigger parking lots, but we made it work. Loading time will be pretty quick, I think, because they're already more than halfway done. We're going to be in the door about 10-15 minutes. Dayton, Ohio, my friends. Dayton, Ohio. The king of small and sharp turns. considering we were running late, we still did good time. Let's go inside here and just check and be sure his ramp thing works, because I haven't really felt the trailer move all that much. A warehouse full of air conditioning systems. Probably not the greatest place to be in the middle of the summer. In that trailer should be one yellow strap. Notice when I opened the door, they got the gray straps. I guess they have their own there. But there's one on there set in my truck. I left it there when they backed it into the door. He didn't say nothing about it, but damn things are $25 a piece. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, any of the straps, even the gray straps, I just hung those back out.
I don't want those. Because I think those are the come along style. I don't want those kind of things. I throw them out.
All just the pull ones.
Yeah, there's a yellow set in there that's got the ratchets on it.
Okay.
That's mine.
All right.
Those are the ones that are expensive.
All right. Well, I will make sure that we just hang. You just want it hung back up on the wall then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with the gray ones. I have no use for them.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, that was interesting. Thanks for sticking with us today. We appreciate you doing so. We're headlining here a new segment on our videos called Truth Is. This is where we take a look at topic-related facts about the world as seen through the eyes of us on the camera. Some of our segments may be from other perspectives, but today it's just from us, here as drivers. And here today we're looking at trade schools. Our Truth Is segment will be featured just prior to the ending of this video, so stay tuned for that. Realize that the idea of a trade school, as it pertains to truck driver training, historically is a lot newer than most people realize. Nationally, laws pertaining to driver training weren't really uniform until around 1986, with the amendment of the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act. That law and that act set minimum requirements for driver training all across the country. In researching for this video, however, I found it interesting that not many private schools have publicized their age or level of funding or how they were founded. Many state-run schools and those run by major companies, like your big corporations, all kinds of information about their founding. It's widely available. I just find it interesting because the quality of training received from major corporate training schools and state-run training schools versus private schools are not one and the same. They're totally different. It's irony at work, folks. It really is. For example, Ohio-based TDDS. My mind's talking faster than my mouth. It is now currently a state-run college. It announced recently that it has suspended its training program for its truck driver training courses. Now, if you can tell me what makes sense about this decision. I mean, this is a training program with the college, founded in 1973. It's one of those schools that was around before 1986, and the reasons that they cite for suspending its operations is an increased unemployment benefit offered due to the pandemic as a major reason. But what I don't get is, this was at one point a private school. It was, if you look it up, it was started by a veteran who was a driver who wanted to help give back to his community. In addition, one of the many reasons also listed was the delays in the renewal process with the U.S. Department of Education. You see, I read between the lines on this one. Department of Education just playing God with a resource that's really just too sorely needed today. Trucking Truth, an internet-based trucking forum, recently posted about the driver shortage, saying, and I quote, "The trucking industry does have an exceptionally high rate of driver turnover. This mainly due to a combination of reasons, including poor training and preparation in part," close quote. It goes on, but from my point, I'm going to make this fair comparison. to say that the quality of schools are needed now more than ever. I find it ironic how we're seeing more and more private schools fall into hard times and go by the way of dinosaurs, one by one by one. Another comparison. Driver training today to another important part of history, which is industry and manufacturing itself. See, I believe drivers today don't have the same level of care for themselves and others on the road compared to years ago. The difference in how people are trained today versus how they were trained when I started driving in transportation, which was 3 decades ago, day and night, totally day and night. For example, in the turn of the century, getting back to manufacturing, if you needed a new pair of pants, you went to a seamstress, you asked them to get you what you needed, you paid for the product, they then measured you and made sure that they had all the material they needed, and they made you a pair of pants. I use this example because today, pants, what you used to go to seamstresses for, now they're mass produced. And you've basically taken the quality of the hands-on, face-to-face out of the equation. And don't misunderstand me. Manufacturing itself has come a long way, and we have nothing like it anywhere in the world. But there's one thing missing: quality. The most lucrative option for driver training today is these lower cost, company-funded schools that are run by major corporations. For example, your Schneiders, your Primes, your U.S. Express. And there's other companies out there, but I'll just stick to the few that most everybody knows about. 2 things about this. First, think about this. What happens to those candidates whose training level has been reduced by this mass-produced BS that these big companies give you? I mean, they take you in, they pay everything, they put you in this contract, and then once you've been filled up and fluffed up with the sales scripts and sent out there to survive, one of 2 things happens. One, they fail to see the truth and know absolutely nothing about what they're doing when they actually get behind the wheel, and they feel like the industry has let them down when they do fail. Or, second, they kill someone, or they kill themselves because they didn't learn a thing about how to safely and healthily run a truck. What happens to the industry as a whole? When for all the slick shit that these mass-produced schools do to attract the product that they need, suddenly run their course. I mean, think about it. They cranked out hundreds and thousands of these geniuses running around here, or I'll call them steering wheel holders, with literally no clue at all. And then they find themselves no longer competitive, meaning the schools. They find themselves no longer competitive. So when that happens, what do? They close up shop because they can't maintain these positions anymore. They can't attract the help. They can't pay the help, or they can't get people to sign these contracts. You can bet your ass that the industry will suffer. And that, my friends, is a topic for another day. But that's my thoughts on these mass-produced schools. There's nothing wrong with them, but we need to do everything we can to help preserve the private-funded schools and the privately run schools and get them out from under the hands of the Department of Education. Yeah, there should be minimum requirements, and yes, they should meet the 1986 Safe Driver Act. But at the same time, we need to hold on to the level of training those schools can and will provide versus the government-run or the major corporate-run schools. And that's my take. And I hope that this is one occasion where I've actually started a conversation that will outlive. Here's my new segment that I was talking about. Truth is, the earliest records I can find of privately funded schools in this country providing driver training is back in 1938. There's one originated back in 1938, Johnstown School, located in North Carolina. Not much on the school. I just did a cursory search for the records and the dates because I started the topic with the irony of private schools being under the knife. So, truth is, we need these schools now more than ever. Truth is, I would much rather attend a privately run trade school for a new career path and watch the doors open easier and have more options, rather than being under the thumb of a government-run program or corporate-run curriculum dictating my future and contracting me into an industry that I could conceivably fail with. And finally, truth is, and this is experience talking, if you're considering a jump by way of a trade school, look carefully at this school and ask yourself, Where do I want to be in 10 years? Do I want to be independent and able to do what I dictate? Or do I want to be corporately owned and told where I can go and when I can get there? This is but a taste of the awesome, thought-provoking, and topic-driven excitement you can expect from a driver working every day to fight for the industry to make it better. I would like you to come along for that ride and enjoy it. Together, we can make all the voices out there sound like one. Just be sure and click on the subscribe button right down there. Like and share the video. Be sure to leave me your thoughts on the content that I provided today. I welcome all perspectives here on Deviator on the Road. Till I place my key in there in the ignition and fire it up next time, I would like to remind you, when you're on the road, please think of others. Your kindness might just lighten the load. Till next time, please, remember, be happy, stay safe, and make it count.